Ladies and gentlemen, Eagles fans around the world, welcome to the Doug and Jon Senior Spotlight Show. This is our first ever weekly LB Senior Spotlight sports show where we expand upon the historical senior spotlights to do our best to highlight all sports and accomplishments of our varsity student athletes and coaches at Liberty-Benton. We rely heavily on information from our coaches to provide much of the detail here as our travel budget is extremely small. I am your host, Jason Borman, joined by Mr. Jon O'Donnell, relatively new to the district. Jon, why don't you introduce yourself to Eagles Nation?
Thanks, Jason. And by small, you mean zero travel budget. So please help us out as we go through this show. And thank you for welcoming me to the Liberty-Benton School District. I have two children in the district, a daughter 9 and a son 7, and looking forward to being a part of the district and everything that we do here for a very long time. And very excited to be here with you as we go through last week in Liberty-Benton sports and next week, what's to come.
Absolutely. And again, welcome, Jon, and let's jump right into it. Let's talk about last week. With the exception of golf, this past week was the start of the 2022 fall season, and while the calendar still says August, it is time for fall sports, and we are here with all the summaries. Let's start our Week 1 episode of the Doug and Jon Senior Spotlight Show by talking about the wild football game on Friday night. The LB faithful showed out in bunches with a great student section to see the Eagles come out victorious 31-27. The Eagles dominated much of the game, holding a 24-14 lead at the half after a field goal from Cason Doolittle as time expired. A big stop and a touchdown to start the second half, and the Eagles were rolling. However, with 3 minutes left, Lipsick mounted a comeback, scoring a touchdown and then recovering the onside kick. About 40 seconds later, the game was a one-score affair after another Lipsick touchdown. That's when things got wild. The Eagles recovered the onside kick, but were forced to punt, and things got crazy, as I noted. As Lipsick's quarterback scrambled and was wrapped up for an apparent sack, he spun and threw the ball backwards. From the sideline, you could hear an inadvertent whistle as Lincoln Garlock picked up the rolling football and scored an apparent game-securing touchdown. The ref would deliver the bad news to the Eagles that the play had been blown dead. Things got much weirder from there, but it's really tough to explain as the clock expired with all kinds of wild issues and plays. But the Eagles would prevail 31-27.
Well, that is a really interesting way to end a football game, and maybe the most proper way to win the first game or play the first game of the season. Clock issues, inadvertent whistles, off to a great start for the Eagles football team this season. Let's turn to soccer. In soccer, the Liberty-Benton boys soccer team fell to St. Mary's. They lost 0-2. They then rebounded and absolutely destroyed Woodmer 8-0 on Saturday, or 8-0 as they say for the game of soccer. Turning to the girls soccer team, they were slated to play home on Saturday, but they had postponed the game due to weather. I think there was lightning in the area. That game has been rescheduled at Liberty-Benton for October. The golf team, unlike the other teams we've covered, they've been playing for 3 weeks now. And the last results that we have, the BVC preseason tourney, they finished in second place. AJ Iliff leading the way with an 87. Now, one of the features that we were real excited about this year is the weekly poll. It's sponsored by Garlock's Winery, which is owned by two local proprietors. Looking really excited to having this weekly poll. The poll is easy to vote on. We're going to put it in the YouTube comments. If you're familiar with YouTube, the comment section, there will be a poll. It'll be at the top. Also, you can go to our Twitter page at FlyLBEagles, so at FlyLBEagles. So this week's question, please let us know which sport should lead off next week's highlight portion of the show. We don't want to listen to him do football every time we start this show. And as you do populate our poll, please don't forget to visit Garlock Winery. It is Findlay's only winery, and it again is owned by Trevor and Nikki Garlock, two LB community residents. So we're going to now turn to our senior spotlight. If you're familiar with the senior spotlight from last year, we're going to interview a bunch of seniors who are graduating this year and get their thoughts on a number of topics. This week's senior spotlight is
Lincoln Garlock from the football team, number 4, and Caleb Collert from the LB boys soccer team.
And we will be right back after that spotlight.
All right, folks, Jason Borman here, joined by senior Lincoln Garlock on the Doug and Jon Senior Spotlight, course number 4 from the football team. Lincoln, welcome to the Senior Spotlight. Can you share with us your parents' names?
Scott and Angie.
Scott and Angie, of course, most folks here in Liberty-Benton know those two, obviously. Coach Garlock for the football team, and Angie Garlock, your mom, she's here almost every day, taking tickets and doing whatever else needs to be done for the athletic department. So two great folks there. Share with the audience what your plans are after high school.
Trying to play baseball in college and become a realtor later on.
Fantastic. Any schools in mind?
Just trying to go down south somewhere, and I don't know, or around, just so it's easier for our parents to come.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. Any desired positions in baseball or just baseball in general?
Infield, somewhere in the infield.
Yeah, okay. Awesome. Exciting. Well, very good. I know Bowling Green still has their baseball program, so that's pretty close by for us to go visit. Of course, I try to get my Bowling Green promos in there as much as possible. If you would, share with us your favorite football memory.
I have to go last year playoff run. We got pretty far, and just the way it ended was kind of sad, but I like how our team just fought back and just didn't go down.
Yeah, hard nosed, just like you are on the football field. Fantastic. Great memories for sure. Obviously, the season started this past Friday. 2 great touchdowns against Leipzig, big team win. Obviously, your brother Cam is the quarterback. You know, when I watch documentaries, they talk a lot about the Manning brothers and how they had special signals when they played high school football. So I wonder if you and your twin brother Cam, if you guys have any special signals that might lead to a touchdown on the football field.
We don't, but we're better at reading each other than most people, so
yeah,
it's just easier that way.
So you don't really need any special signals. You just know what each other are thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Do you think any of that led to one of the touchdowns on Friday night? Or
for sure.
Yeah. All right. So no credit goes to the coach on that one. That's all you guys and your
just
special
all
signals.
reading each other.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's great. Of course, on Friday night, it was a warm one, first game of the season. Looked like Leipzig let the grass grow out quite a bit to slow you guys down. You experienced some leg cramping. How are the legs doing right now?
A little sore, but
still a little sore. Yeah. I know the trainer, Mr. Jolliffe, was beating up on you a little bit, trying to get you back in shape.
Yep.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, not sore enough to that you couldn't score that final touchdown of the game that obviously got called back. But do you expect to be 100% this Friday versus Grove?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, the team will certainly need you as Grove brings in a great team this Friday night to Liberty-Benton High School for the home opener. Last question for you. Just share any kind of personal or team goals that you'd like to share out there with the Eagles Nation.
Just team goals, try to make it farther in playoffs this year and just try to get a good run.
Yeah, absolutely. Any personal goals you want to share?
Just be the best player I can be for my teammates.
Awesome. Well, good. Well, you guys certainly exemplify that. And again, another great team win on Friday to start the season off on the right foot. Best wishes this year in your senior season in football, and look forward to seeing you out on the field. Thanks a lot, Lincoln Garlock. All right, folks, our second guest tonight on the Dougie John Senior Spotlight Show is Mr. Caleb Collert, number 8 for the Liberty-Benton soccer team. Welcome to the show, Caleb.
Thank you.
If you would, please share your parents' names.
Derek and Lisa Collert.
Derek and Lisa, fantastic. How about your plans after high school?
I want to go to Finley, that's where I'd like to go. I'm gonna try to go for cardiac sonography. It's like echo tech, you scan the heart. So I job shadowed a little bit with my uncle. It was really fun. So that's my ultimate plan after high school.
Yeah, fantastic. Have you had a chance to visit the campus or get your application in?
I have not yet, but I have a lot of family members that went there, and I think it just sounds like an overall great experience. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on.
Good. Well, that's exciting, and of course, makes it easier when you have an uncle that can kind of show you the ropes along the way. So
really
great to have somebody to look up to. Great. How about sharing with us your favorite soccer memory?
Favorites? Have to be last year. It was my junior year. We had a really big game against Riverdale. It was our rivalry game. Ben Garcia, he was a senior my junior year. He said he'd buy me ice cream if I put a goal in, and I I tied it up with it was like a Maradona. Then I got a bottom left shot and went in. So free ice cream's always good too, So,
yeah, awesome. Good for you. Well, we'll have to make sure we put a few more of those challenges out there this year.
Yeah.
Obviously, you scored a couple goals on Saturday, so I don't know if anybody was motivating you with ice cream or not, but we'll have to keep that in mind, and I'm sure Coach Troyer will use some of that as he needs to.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly a tough loss for the team. Open the season against St. Mary's, always a tough team. It's a long trip, losing 2-0, but a big victory over Woodmore, 8-0.
Yeah.
So you turned some things around. Any special adjustments Coach made or that you guys made on the field to turn things around?
Honestly, I think we just started harder. We worked harder for it. They were kind of packing the box, so we had more time with the ball. St. Mary's was really aggressive. But after we got through this 15-minute, it was a slow start. We started putting goals in. We found a rhythm. So.
Yeah, great. Gained some confidence going into this week. Big week this week. A bunch of games, and
Yep.
and I think you guys play Eastwood maybe on Tuesday, and then a boys-girls doubleheader.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. Eastwood always has a good team. So, so like we said, 2 goals this past Saturday. Any personal or team goals that you would like to share for this season?
So we have a really good team going into it, so I think we have a good shot to win the Encoso this time. So winning Encoso would mean everything for my senior year. I'd really like to win that. But personally, I don't know. I just want to put in more than 10 goals this season. So.
Gotcha. If you would share, how many goals did you score last year? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I really got more assists than goals, I think. I didn't really shoot a whole lot last, so that's going to be the big change. I'm going to try to shoot more.
Be a more prominent scorer for the team. Fantastic. And goal to win the conference. Always a great goal for any team in high school sports. Last question that I have for you really is regards around your hobbies. Coach Troyer shared with me they're quite the accomplished chess player. Any major accomplishments that you'd like to share about your chess game?
Not really. I've competed a little bit online. I've won a couple online tournaments, but other than that, it's more of a hobby than anything. I don't like to turn it into a competition, just to, relax after a long day. So.
I gotcha. All right. Any visions of maybe challenging? I don't know if he's an accomplished chess player, but Mr. Kowalski, always fun to compete against somebody with that much energy.
I mean, if he wants to compete with me, I'm always down to play anyone. So.
Well, that's a great answer, and I'm sure a lot of people would sign up to see that one. Maybe it's an academic booster fundraiser in the future. You versus Mr. Kowalski. We know he can eat wings, but we'll see if he can play chess. So. Thanks a lot for joining us. Best wishes to you on your senior season, and of course. All of our guests on the Dougie John Senior Spotlight Show will receive a $10 gift card to Dougie John's, our sponsor, located on North Main Street in Findlay, Ohio. On behalf of the Liberty-Benton Athletic Boosters and Athletic Program, I'm Jason Borman, your host, signing off, and as always saying, Go Eagles! Fantastic. Now we turn to the next segment, Trivia Time. We're looking for a trivia sponsor to donate to this cause, to donate a nice prize to our season-long trivia winner. So if your company or business would like to support our trivia contest, please reach out to me, Jason, at jbrorman23@gmail.com, and we'll get a prize and some sponsorship organized there. This week's trivia question, and again, you can reach out to, how do we answer the trivia question, John?
Trivia question is done the same way. We're going to do it on the YouTube comment section. That will be first come, first serve, if you will. If you're the first person with the correct answer, we're going to go ahead and call you the winner on that one. So the YouTube comment section is where you'll find our trivia.
Fantastic. And so this week's trivia question, who is the all-time goals scorer leader for the girls soccer program? Again, the all-time goals scored leader for the girls soccer program. So now we move on to our final segment. We look ahead this week in Liberty-Benton sports, and certainly we're taping this on one day. We're doing some production issues, and we'll post it. So some games have gone on, or either haven't happened when we've taped, and then they've been completed since we've posted the videos. So bear with us on the timing of that. But certainly a lot of activity on the schedule this week as all sports now get their first contests in. Starting with volleyball, they hit off their season this week as they look to defend their state title from last year, the undefeated season. They traveled to Defiance on Monday and Columbian on Tuesday before hosting Sylvania Northview on Thursday in their home opener. Sylvania Northview will bring some great competition for the Eagles, so be sure to show up and support the volleyball team on Thursday night. One note, I do believe that game is going to be hosted at Liberty-Benton Junior High School, as the high school is just finishing renovations and waiting on final inspections before entry. So please note that, or check your schedule, check with your athletic director on the location of the girls' game on Thursday versus Sylvania Northview. The golf team plays in the BBC mid-season tournament. John talked about it earlier, that they finished second in the preseason. We'll see how they do in the mid-season tournament. I think a new feature here for golf this year. They've got a preseason, mid-season, and of course a final season tournament. But that is on Monday the 22nd. That's at Hidden Creek. Then they have a tri-match at Collert on the 23rd before participating in the Sycamore Cup on Thursday at Sycamore Springs. The cross-country team opens their season, boys and girls, as they head to Delphus for the opening race of the season in the Delphus Invitational on Saturday. And then turning our focus to soccer, boys soccer team looks to start that winning streak after the big victory on Saturday we talked about. They host Eastwood on Tuesday as part of a doubleheader with the girls team. The girls will host Eastwood at 7. The boys play at 5, so the girls will be under the lights. So an exciting opportunity to see both the boys and girls play. That's also a great opportunity for our Eagles fans to check out the new athletic entryway, John, for our outdoor sports. Then the boys will head to Rossford on Saturday while the girls travel to St. Mary's on Thursday and host Collert on Saturday. So busy week for all those sports, especially soccer and volleyball with a lot of activities.
Speaking of the new entryway, and I'm new to the area, is it in the same location, or did they move it completely from where it used to be?
Yeah, just moved it down a little bit from the concession stand. The ticket booth used to be a part of the concession stand, and we had the cattle chute with the fences leading you up to the facility. Now we've got we've got a brick ticket booth, brick pillars, some fencing, some nice fencing, some aluminum wrought iron fencing. We've got other recognition for all those folks that donated to the Eagle Fieldhouse, the big fieldhouse project that we completed in the spring. Some great recognition areas there, and also some expansion opportunities.
Excellent. Well, I know there's going to be a grand opening ceremony Friday night, 6 o'clock before the football game versus Columbus Grove. Everybody is invited to be there. All community members, your fieldhouse donors. Let's get down there and show off this new area that we have. You mentioned, and one thing about this community is the commitment to it. The field house is beautiful, and I'm sure the entryway is as well. Look forward to seeing it on Friday. After the event, we're going to have the home opener for the football team. They take on Columbus Grove. Grove is highly ranked in Division 6. They had a nice win over Pandora Gilboa on Friday. Grove also has a very strong running attack. The Eagles' defense, if there's one weakness to what I've seen so far, is the size. And you're going to have to make a lot of moves forward. You're going to have to do really well against the run to stop Columbus Grove, and that's going to be a tough challenge. Trenton Barraza is a big name to watch. He had 170 yards on 18 carries in Columbus Grove's win versus PG. So looking forward to seeing Liberty-Benton really get tested. It's interesting, right? They had a really tough challenge, maybe unexpected tough challenge against Leipzig. This is an expected tough challenge, and hopefully the guys in blue can come out winners.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how they respond. So finally, as we close out our first episode of the Dougie John Senior Spotlight Show, do not forget to register for this year's Athletic Boosters Golf Outing, which is scheduled for Sunday, September 11th at Hillcrest Golf Club. There is room for a few more teams at a cost of $100 per golfer. If you can't find a team or need to register, reach out to Jeremy Recker at germrecker@gmail.com. On behalf of my co-host, Mr. John O'Donnell, I'm your host, Jason Borman, signing off, saying thanks for joining us, and as always, go Eagles!